All right, this is a quick video tutorial on how to utilize a few web resources to scrub Cruise for Cash leads. Okay, so this is called My REI Pro. REI Pro give you a login. You'll be right here in the REI Pro world. What we're going to do is we're going to go between REI Pro and Podio to scrub Cruise for Cash leads. So I'm going to go log into Podio. We have a new workspace. Okay, VAs have been working in the Brocard Properties workspace in the past and would now have access to our off-market workspace. Very important that you go to off-market in Podio. We're going to go to one app only, which is the Warm Mojo Leads app. Okay, in Warm Mojo Leads, we are looking for only one thing, and this is not researched hot leads. Those are Cruise for Cash, not researched leads. So click on that. Okay, and these are examples of not researched hot leads. I'll start with the first one, 6306 Gateway Boulevard. I'll select that and we'll use this as our sample. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to scrub this lead to make sure that this lead is worth following up. So I'm going to use this property address. I'm going to copy and paste this particular property address and do our scrub filter. Okay, so in REI Pro, I'm going to go to quick lookup, put the property address in here. I can actually just put the address, and what should happen is it should pop up. Let me see. Up there. Sorry. Gateway. Okay, because when you cut and paste the entire address, you actually want it to pop up so you can see exactly how it's formatted here. I'll hit search. Okay, this is a quick search. Okay, and in here, you'll notice that you have a lot of the, and let me move some of the stuff here, a lot of the filters that we are looking for in our scrub. Okay, so the first thing we're looking for is the last sale date. Okay, this last sale date was 6/11/2014. And our first scrub requirement is did the property transfer in 5 years or less. This property looks to have just transferred in the last 3 years. So essentially, by our first screen or first scrub, this property would be considered a dead lead. Okay. So what I'll do, just for the sake of going through the other scrubs, is continue. But essentially, right now, we would call this a dead lead. But for the sake of training purposes, I'm going to show you the other checks within REI Pro to kind of do this quick. All right, so then we're looking for the transfer price higher than the REI Pro value estimate. Okay, so this is the last sale amount or the transfer price. If that number is higher than this number, then this is dead, a dead lead, because we are looking for a property that has equity. Okay. We're also looking to see if it's company owned. So all right here in the details tab, you see who owns the property. Geo Young. This is not a company owned property, so this would be a fine. This would be fine to continue, but we've already failed the screen from the first scrub, which would be transfer date 5 years or less. And then obviously, we'd also lastly like to look to see if it's foreclosure or pre-foreclosure date using the REI pre-foreclosure alert. In addition to this, you have been previously trained on how to go to court search to see if the property is in foreclosure or not. And then also tax records, which is a different website that you guys have been previously trained on to see if there's any tax balance. So if it passes all these four things, you are 5 screens, you would essentially then go further into the screen to do to input the data into Podio, which I'll pretend that we will on this particular lead for the sake of training purposes. Okay, so let's say that this property met these quick 5 screens. Met the quick 5 screens, what we would then do is go to now importing it into Podio. Since this one didn't, remember we would just select in Podio. Let me go here. I'm going to pull this up. Sorry. In Podio, we would select that this one is going to be a dead lead. So I'll just put dead right here. Okay. All right. And then I'll uncheck, make sure not research hot lead is unchecked. And this is just considered a dead lead. Okay. All right. If this wasn't a dead lead, we would continue on in here. Okay. And we would input the person's information as such. Okay. All right. Person's owner of record. First thing. That's the first thing. So we would go down here. Okay. And I'll actually change the format of this so these people, so this information is in order. But owner's first name of record, GL. Owner's last name of record, Young. Okay, which I got from here. Sorry. Geo Young, first name. All right. The next thing is, this is very important, ARV or REI Pro value. Okay, so in REI Pro, you'll have an REI Pro value. I want you to use that as the ARV, or what's called after repair value. So I'm sorry, in this file, okay, we're going to put here is estimated ARV. And we're going to use this 218 number from REI Pro as your estimate. And then for estimated equity, what I'd like you guys to do is use the REI Pro value and subtract it by the transfer amount. So this is 218,000 minus 130,000, which equals $88,000 estimated equity. Okay. All right, that's how I want you to calculate estimated equity. ARV, we're going to use the REI Pro value. I'll actually put that right here in parentheses to remind you. Okay, and then the taxes lien. So from the tax website that you've been previously trained on, if there's any additional taxes owed, I'd like that to be included in here as well. Last transfer date. Okay, this one will be 6/11/2014, which remember does not fit our screen, but for the sake of this training, I'll put that in here. Last transfer date. Okay, and last transfer price was $130,000, which I'll put in here for the sake of training again. All right, it's foreclosure no, even though I did not look that up. You guys know how to look at it. Taxes owed is where the taxes owed would go, and that's essentially it. Now, very important is that you change this lead. Well, this one I'm going to keep dead, but you would change this lead to researched and TLO ready to indicate that I need to send this file to TLO to get the phone number. And that is essentially all I need you guys to do to screen. I will send this to you as a quick tutorial, step-by-step tutorial on what to do, but this video is also to support this process. Okay.